We will never be back together. Do those crushing end-all words firing out of her mouth sound familiar?
Travis, we will never be back together. Over and over again, she would tell me that.
So how did Travis go from that and her seeing another guy to now this?
And 2 weeks go by, and she's literally just like, I love you. I want us to be back together. Can you please just give me a chance? I love you so much. It was just like, whoa, like, is this really happening right now?
The answer is threefold. One, controversial hack that holds the other two together like glue. And when you master these, you suddenly just get it. Like your light bulb turns on because her cold, guarded exterior just falls apart. She opens her heart to you again. She gets a rush of emotion whenever you text her. And most of all, she gets excited to plan new features with you. But you don't get these kind of results from sitting on a therapist's couch because a therapist never gives clear action steps like this. And one of the hacks is kind of controversial. So to appreciate the hack that caused his partner to run back into his arms, I need to give you a little backstory on Travis. And tell me this doesn't sound familiar to you.
It was leading up for years,
Okay.
and I was just blinded to it, and I was complacent. I was, using my own logic to justify my actions, which were wrong or were not productive, I should say.
The complacency trap is something I talk a lot about on this channel. In many ways, it's like a common cold. It happens to everyone in relationships, except there's no immune system to naturally fight it off. And if left untreated, it causes severe damage over time.
The signs were there. I mean, she literally told me multiple times what was wrong. And I would say, it's not me, it's you, that whole victim energy. And she would say that you're being a victim right now. And I was like, oh, poor me, like, I can't believe you're not seeing me this way. So I can't say, oh, I can pinpoint it to this exact fight. It was ongoing since we were together that we didn't talk the same language. And we didn't resolve issues. And it broke into screaming matches and arguments and a lot of pain, and things that I'm not proud of.
This victim mindset that Travis had, it takes attraction and it feeds it to a ravenous pack of hungry hyenas with left with no traces. And here's why it kills attraction for most men.
Like what was the things that you were doing that led to all those arguments?
Ego got in the way.
Okay. And yeah. Okay. I love that answer. Can you elaborate on that? Like, tell me what you mean by that.
I didn't know myself. So I was defending myself, being the victim, because I felt I was getting attacked and I had no other way to express my emotions. And when you don't have a deep connection with your emotional intelligence, you only have the basic emotions to use to have interactions that are non-productive, like an argument.
Bingo, right? That's worth its weight in gold. So many men have these like blinders on and they can't see the damage they've been doing when they react defensively with their wives. And all these little cuts add up until the marriage reaches its breaking point.
It was when she came in the house and said, I'm moving to Fairbanks and I'm not moving back in with you when I come back to this area. I was lost, and I heartbroken, a lot of pain, and just desperate for something to alleviate that pain. And your content provided that for me, to be able to feel like I wasn't the only one out there, that there was support.
I couldn't be happier that Travis reached out in his desperation because that's when the real change started to occur. Now, the first hack that I wanted to touch on is the best defense against defensiveness. Failing to grasp this is like stirring up a beehive without wearing protective bee suit, right? Your communication will sting you both until your marriage suffers a fatal allergic reaction. Here's exactly how Travis describes it.
Did she test those changes like when you were first making them?
Oh, absolutely.
How did she? What were some of those? Yeah, what did some of those tests look like, Travis, and how did you respond?
Oh man. Yeah, it was like me speaking a different way. Like I was doing these workshops and the calls, and I would start using a different language. And she's like, "Oh, you're just manipulating me. You're just trying to say these things to get me back."
Yeah.
Or like, "Oh, this is great for the next person that you're going to be with, but we will never be back together. You got to get over this."
See, Travis had to face a harsh reality that every man does. Your wife always tests you. So when he started making positive changes, she laid into him even more with those negative comments. Now, how did he pass those tests? He practiced didactic resilience. He showed strength and adaptability in staying unreactive to her tests. So many men fail this most important thing. There's a powerful scene actually in Peter Jackson's The Two Towers. Now, when Gandalf tries to free the king, Theoden, from the evil spell that confines him and has drained the life out of him, it's a great analogy of when you react to your wife with defensiveness, or trying to solve her problems with logic, or by not taking the lead, so she has to make all the decisions herself. She's forced to step into her masculine, and this cold and resentful shell forms around her, and her feminine self is trapped somewhere inside. But when you practice didactic resilience in the face of her tests, when you keep calm in the heart of her fiery words of frustration, when you validate her emotions instead of trying to solve her problems on the spot, her masculine shell just melts away. And her warm, tender, feminine center can flow freely again, and she's ready to follow you. And let me tell you, the power of using didactic resilience is one thing, but the next lesson is equal to a superpower, and I'm not exaggerating. It will stop her in her tracks from running away and flip your current dynamic upside down, pulling her back into your arms with an irresistible and fully consensual magnetic force. Listen to these powerful words from Travis.
There was this time where we were both met up at a friend's house and she's hanging out with the other guy, and I went to go grab my daughter and I go pick her up and I could see like this shock that I didn't care that she was hanging out with another guy. And she actually like looked at me as I was driving out of the driveway, waiting for me to like do something. But in all honesty, Josh, I fucking didn't care at that point. Like, okay, that's cool, like I know who I am, I know my value, and that's fine. Like it's all good.
Travis is talking about affectionate detachment, wanting her but not needing her. And there's an art form to honing this mindset. It's coming down to the idea that you have to really truly grasp what she's giving you, what need is she meeting, what emotions is she making you feel, and then get those needs met yourself. Think of two trees growing side by side in the same forest. Imagine you and your wife as these two trees. You both have your roots firmly planted in the ground. You're drawing nourishment and strength from the same soil, yet growing independently towards the sky. Your branches may occasionally intertwine, sharing moments of closeness and mutual support, and enriching your existence. Although each of you maintains your own space to grow and thrive and reach towards the sun in your unique way. This is the balance of being your own man, but not being reliant on her. You're not leaning on her. Without her, you will still stand strong. That's what she needs. And that leads into the hack that brings her back to you. Learning this third lesson not only makes the other two lessons easier to apply, but it was life-changing for Travis. This is so good, it gives me goosebumps. Literally, listen to Travis sum it up.
And letting go too, that I still remember the day whenever she would call and we weren't, in a good place. I had this anxiety within me and wanting things to go a certain way and trying to have those expectations. And, after the phone call, having this gut pain because it's not what I was expecting to happen, or, why am I not there yet? And I had one of those calls and I just told myself, like, feel that pain right now. Like, not the emotion or what triggered it, but just feel that pain in your body and just allow it to just process and go through your body and finally just let go and don't allow your body to control your mind anymore. And that night, I seriously just dug into that feeling. And it's who I no longer wanted to be. And I let it go. And after that, it was amazing to see started to, date other women, and try to, just have fun every day and just enjoy life for what it is and just love life and just start leading in my own way.
Travis is talking about emotional autonomy, the powerful transformation that happens when you let go and maintain emotional independence. Letting go is this idea where it's like you're not physically letting her go, but emotionally holding your own and not controlling her anymore. It makes you feel safe. And it has a profound impact on your partner.
3 months go by, I'm doing this, and she approaches me and wanting to reconcile and tells me all these things about how I'm a changed man, and just shocked that I'm not pretending. I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm not writing to her of all these changes I'm doing, not doing CLCs anymore. This is who I am now. And obviously she seemed to change. And that's really was that key part though, Josh, was just like letting go. I really had to just let go and embrace that unknown, just fall into the unknown. And that really, like I said, I still remember that day.
Just imagine being able to be around her and not be in your head, not need anything from her. She feels that, and that is valuable to her. And when you put these truths into motion and they transform you from within, there's no limit to the success and growth you'll see. Now, I have a whole video on the concept of letting go right here that you can actually watch. And listen, if you want help in achieving the same powerful results that Travis achieved, and you want some one-on-one help with a group of other men supporting you along the way and experts, that's what the free call will be down below to speak with our evaluator team. It is a free call, but we only accept men on those calls that are fully committed financially and emotionally to invest into the program if given the opportunity.